Kalshi is being sued for using a flight tracking service's data without authorization. Spotify AI persona labels will alert listeners if an artist is not real. And government workers can officially waste time scrolling TikTok again. It's Wednesday, August 12th, and here's a quick look at some of the news happening in the sphere of tech this morning from Engadget. FlightAware, a flight tracking service and data provider, is suing Kalshi for using its data and name to run gambling markets. The lawsuit was filed in New York, where Kalshi is currently being sued by New York Attorney General Letitia James for allegedly running an illegal gambling operation. FlightAware claims that it was never informed that Kalshi would be using its data or trademark, and that the company has continued to do so despite FlightAware sending a cease and desist letter. For violating its terms, using its trademark, and harming its reputation, FlightAware is seeking damages from Kalshi and a permanent injunction that will prevent Kalshi from using its data. Kalshi began offering users the ability to bet on the percentage of flights canceled at an airport in a given time frame in July. Now, at the time, the company said it was verifying flight cancellations with data from FlightAware and the U.S. Department of Transportation. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. In a statement to the publication at the time, FlightAware made it clear that was not allowed. The company said that no company is or will be authorized to use the data collected through the FlightAware network for this purpose. Any customer who uses FlightAware in violation of the terms of use will have their account terminated. FlightAware only learned Kalshi was using its data when media outlets started reaching out for comment. After discovering the company planned to offer prediction markets that were verified from FlightAware, it sent its cease and desist letter. Besides the ways Kalshi allegedly violated its rules and trademark, the company echoes the concerns of the airline industry that prediction markets for flights incentivize the mass disruption of air travel for anyone who wants to make money on the platform. Kalshi has tried to prevent some of that behavior by enforcing insider trading rules, like verifying a user's employer for some bets and preventing politicians from betting on elections and athletes from betting on games that they're part of. Many states still view Kalshi as gambling and want it to be treated accordingly. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Kalshi's assigned regulator, has managed to fight back against some attempts to rein in the platform, but New York's lawsuit will be another test. Spotify announced that it will begin labeling certain artist accounts that are not real people. The new AI persona badge will add a level of transparency to music profiles that present themselves as human despite being generative AI creations. Accounts can declare themselves to be AI personas beginning August 11th via the Spotify for Artists portal. Spotify will also use a mix of human checks and AI-powered reviews to apply a likely AI persona badge to artists it believes are not real. The account will be alerted if the tag is applied, and artists will have an appeal process if they receive the badge erroneously. Now, the AI persona label will begin appearing in mid-September, initially on mobile on an artist's profile, in search, and on playlists track rows. By default, content from AI personas will not be included in Spotify's personalized recommendation tools. As with so many companies, Spotify is playing both sides of the artificial intelligence coin. It has been building up a bigger arsenal of tools for both artists and listeners to identify Gen AI creations. But it has also been putting all sorts of generative and agentic AI tools into its service. Well, Trump administration officials are now free to post and endlessly scroll TikTok. It is the latest move from the federal government formally undoing a 2022 law that banned the app from most government-issued devices. The DOJ said the 2022 law no longer applies because the current version of TikTok has American owners and relies on a different recommendation algorithm than the app that operated under ByteDance. The app was banned from most federal government devices in 2022 amid rising concerns about its parent company's ties to China. Government officials under then-President Joe Biden, including FBI Director Chris Wray, said the app posed a national security threat, though the exact nature of the risk was the subject of intense debate. Intelligence officials never publicly disclosed specifics about the threat posed by TikTok, but lawmakers cited the app's data collection practices and raised questions about whether the app's recommendation algorithm could be subject to influence from the Chinese government. The app briefly went dark in the U.S. last year after President Biden passed a law requiring ByteDance to sell the app to American owners or face a ban. The app came back online as Trump took office, and a deal to spin off the U.S. version of the app was finalized earlier this year. The U.S. version of the app is now controlled by an entity called TikTok USDS Joint Venture, which is controlled by a group of investors that includes Oracle, Silver Lake, and others. Some federal agencies have already begun posting on TikTok from official accounts. The Department of Transportation, Treasury Department, and Health and Human Services all started new accounts last month after the Justice Department opinion. The White House opened an official account last year. Thanks for listening. There's a whole lot more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Ian Carlos Campbell, Anna Washenko, and Carissa Bell. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.